Hi, this is your girl, Miss V.I.P. I have the privilege and I'm honored to sit here with the one and only activist, actor, mover, shaker, phenomenal, just words can't explain, just Isaiah Washington. How are you today?
I'm here. I'm here.
Yes, nice to meet you. You are a mover and a shaker.
It's a little far away.
Okay, I'll take that. A mover and a shaker.
Mover and a shaker. So let's talk about this award that was presented to you by Blackstreet today. Black Tie Affair, they are just honoring, you know, all the African Americans that are doing big things in the community, just over and beyond. So let's talk about your humanitarian award that, you know, was received. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, this is really special for me, simply because, you know, it's the first one I've ever received regarding my work in Sierra Leone over the last 6 years. So I'm glad to have received it from Blackstreet. It's a wonderful website doing some really positive things. And obviously I would cherish it as long as I'm alive because it's the first one that's acknowledging my work in West Africa. So yeah, that means a lot coming from your own community.
Nice. So you are a citizen of Sierra Leone. Tell us a little bit about that. You are the first African American to become a citizen. The president just granted you the right. From being an activist. Tell us a little bit about that because that's powerful.
It is. I talk about it in the book in detail about this dream I call the rerun that I've been having since I was 9 years old. I didn't really share it with anyone. You know, so when people ask me what the book is about, it's about many things, many themes, particularly identity and the complex feelings that we have amongst ourselves in our own community. This light skin, dark skin thing, this good hair, bad hair thing, that still very unfortunately resonates in our community. I have a perspective on that. I think you will be surprised on why I became an actor, which I talk about candidly in the book. But ultimately, you know, the book is about that feeling of, you know, what I call a deja vu. That feeling that you feel like you've been somewhere before, you've been here before, and it's really fleeting, like a nanosecond, right? Well, this book is about the moment I became Chief Gondabe Manga, or was given the title of being a man from another land by my tribal mother in Yande Manga, saying that I was born to come back to Sierra Leone to help rebuild it to its most powerful and most beautiful and most elegant state. And that a man from another land would be born to do that, and no one will have the name Gondabe. No one has used his name since the 17th century. And I've been given the name Gondabe. So I'm Chief Gondabe Manga II. Oh,
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Are your parents from Sierra Leone, or did you?
Trait. It's a very real trait. Holding grudges and jealousy is very real. It's very African. Yes. Some people will call it tribalism, but anthropologists call it pull him down or pull her down, PhD. They also call it image of limited good, which means, you know, so it's not really jealousy, anthropologically speaking. I've been on this journey for 20 years. So it's not really jealousy. It's what you're feeling is like, I want to go home.
Yes.
Innately, you know, your DNA has memory. I believe in that so much that I actually bought the term. I own the term DNA has memory. I felt that it would be a powerful, lucrative moniker for my family's estate once I'm long gone, like the I Have a Dream speech for Martin Luther King and the King estate, because people may not really buy into it now, but they will. Our DNA does have memory, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, or understand this place called Africa. But at some point, we free Africans in North America. There's only one way we got here. We're not indigenous to this continent.
Yes, absolutely.
So at some point, we're going to have to be empowered enough in ourselves, spiritually and emotionally, and intellectually, to be able to engage the people on the mainland, because we're the only North Americans on this zone that does not have a mainland, unless you're West Indian.
Yes.
And then even in West India, you're not indigenous of that land
Absolutely.
of Haiti, which is formerly called Hispaniola, or Jamaica, which is really the indigenous people, the Arawak Indians. So at some point, we're going to have to wake up and have this real hard conversation on why we're still struggling,
Yes.
why we're still being disrespected, ignored, blatantly, and have a holistic conversation about how we can come together as a group to really, really seriously help each other in a professional manner, but in a firm and a straightforward manner, because there's 1 billion people on that continent. And being a citizen now here in America, the good news is when I'm here in America, I represent 1 billion people on the continent of Africa. And when I'm there, I represent 319 million Americans. So I do know no matter how bad things get in this nation, it's still looked upon as the greatest nation on earth. Now, the issue that I have with that is the people of African descent.
Me too. Can I comment on that?
I would love to.
Okay, so for instance, my last name is Fitzgerald. It's Irish. Might have some Irish in me. My great-great-granddaddy might be Irish. But, you know, it hurts sometimes because it's like I feel disconnected from my roots. It's like it's a fact that once you strip somebody, once you take somebody's language from them and you take their last name, you take their tradition, you know, you take everything. And, you know, that's why I said I was jealous because, you know, you have this connection. And, you know, I would like to have that too. And I heard you downstairs when you accepted your award. You made a statement that when you go places, you know, some roles you have turned down because of your hair. You know, tell us a little bit about that, because I think in the African American community, that's a big issue. You know, if it's not flowing and if it's not straight down in your head, it's not accepted. When, you know, natural hair is beauty. You know, and you know, I'm gonna do this. Look, that's how much I love my natural hair. I can do that, okay? Because pieces should highlight your beauty, but it should never be something that you're looking, you know. You know.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. What you just did, I think, is phenomenal. It should be documented and spread around YouTube, because you just seriously, what you've done. What you just did in that is a statement, is a form of activism.
Yes.
It's some people will look at it and that's you know, George Bernard Shaw says, you know, once you get people laughing, okay, you know, it's fine to get them laughing, but once you get them laughing while their mouths are open, you slip in some truth, some hardcore truth. Yes. So I'm thrilled that you did that and you were empowered.
Yes.
Enough because of something that I may have said tonight that
absolutely.
Gave you the power. Because every African American woman and man with a toupee, it's not going to do that.
No, they're not. You know, it's a fact. Some people would rather get naked before they take out a hairpiece.
If anybody follow me on at iWashington, you can check my timeline. And I'm very methodical and strategic in the way that I try to put myself out there. And I tweeted this whole thing twice just to get a litmus test. Because I'm merely a closeted scientist, social scientist. I just want to see how, or anthropologists, I want to see how people are going to respond to certain stimuli. And my theory was correct. You know, I started, you know, espousing about how I'm going to start a company called Hair Weave Insurance. Now, the Hair Weave Insurance covers assault and battery, distress and duress, mental illness, and bodily injury. Yes. But it does not cover that you jump in a pool or get water damage to your weave more than 3 times. I will drop you from my policy. Yes. Because what you're doing is you're trying to get free money, you know, by saying that someone messed up your hair. Now you laugh, but if you do the research, there is documentation out there where hair salons in the neighborhoods have been robbed of their rimming. The women have had their rimming snatched off their heads. There are weave snatching incidents across the nation. Now, it sounds hilarious, but you know, truth is stranger than fiction.
Yes.
So as we're laughing at this, we're talking about a $90 billion industry, and I talked about this last year on my book tour with Essence Festival. A $90 billion industry ran by the Koreans. Can't be mad at the Koreans for giving us or you what you want to purchase. You can't be angry with great business persons. But what you should be concerned about is that if you're going to invest in a $90 billion industry with clip-ons or weaves or whatever, then have some kind of participation in that hair. So what I was doing with my hair weave insurance is that as I charging you your premium, you get to have coverage because you're going to get into a fight when someone tries to snatch your weed. Somebody's going to get hurt. You're going to break your fingernails, your toes. You're going to hurt your ankles, your shoes. You're going to stab the man with your shoes if you got them on. So you're going to go to jail. So I need to have you covered with my hair weave insurance. I'm dead serious. No, I'm not serious, but imagine it could work. Is that, the hair weave insurance covers these women because you're going to fight. They're going to fight that robber, that potential robber. And I don't want sisters out there getting hurt because this man needs your Remy off your head, so he's trying to, provide a system that's going to like jack in cars. Yes. This is real money. So you need to be covered. You need to have that hair weave insurance. Okay. And you need to come to me. Okay. Now, when you get my hair weave insurance, what you're getting in that premium is I'm taking a percentage of that premium and I'm purchasing land that's filled with oil, diamonds, and gold in Africa. So when you wake up after about 16 years of buying my insurance, you will have land that you can own when you decide to take that weave off. Whether you want to move to Africa or not, you can benefit and have a profit participation on whatever is being sold or grown in a nation that you have been taken from over 400 years. Why am I doing that? Because I love my people.
You know what? That was great. I thought that was a good pitch. It made sense, though. It made sense.
But why are you laughing at it? It makes sense.
Let's get it going.
But some people look at you like you're crazy because I believe that as people, there are a lot of people that are here that look like African Americans and they're not. They're Europeans. They think like Europeans, they walk like Europeans, and they sell their own African brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? And when people look at Brad Pitt and they look at Jay-Z and Beyonce and Angelina Jolie and they ask me who's more African, I always say, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. But that doesn't take anything from Jay-Z and Beyonce. I just look, this is how serious this DNA thing is. Has memory. So look at the Africans that sold us. There's a DNA that says that it's not to have remorse. People talk about the Moors and how special they were, but it was the Moors that viciously sold us all over the continent first to the Europeans. And these are people of African descent. You see what I'm saying? So you can't expect people to be of different culture, different language, thousands and thousands of different kinds of peoples on this continent, put on the slave passage, put on the Middle Passage, brought here, and then expect us to like each other, trust each other, and know each other. When even in the continent of Africa, we didn't trust each other, like each other, spoke the same language. So I'm doing this as an experiment to see if the Crips and the Bloods is the same as the tribalism in Africa. The same warriors, and they work efficiently, and they're surviving. They've been surviving in LA since the 70s. They've spread across the country. From New York, I know they're Crips and Bloods. The Bloods here, I know. So why are they so effective, and why they have such a strong leadership? That's something that I'm looking at and I'm studying and I'm talking about in this book.